From deep in the heart of Central Texas, it's the Best of the Outdoors podcast. Brought to you by Texas Fish and Game Magazine, the voice of the Texas outdoor nation. I'm your humble host, Dustin Von Warnke, and it's so wonderful to be back with you guys. We're doing a dedicated episode for Aguila Ammunition today, and we're going to have a lot of fun on this podcast. I'm interviewing Kristi Heuring from Aguila. She's their marketing person, and we're going to have a lot of fun on this show. But first of all, I want to talk to you about the event that's coming up, kind of the subject of this podcast, and that is the Aguila Cup 2018. And it basically starts Thursday, June 14th, 2018 at 12 p.m. noon, and it runs to Sunday, June 17th, 2018 at 6 p.m. And it's basically the first time they've hosted this thing in the United States. It's been in Mexico the last couple of times, and it's going to be in Decatur, Texas, kind of North Texas, near Denton. And this is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of, as we'll talk about on the show, a lot of shooting opportunities, a lot of competition opportunities, whatever you're into, especially whatever you want to bring your family into. And man, you guys know how much I'm big about getting family in the outdoors. So this is really a great opportunity to get outside, get to shooting. You can shoot anything from sporting clays, 5-stand, and 3-gun and rimfire. I mean, there's just all kinds of different shooting opportunities here to kind of test your skill against some really heavy players in the industry, fantastic shooters, and this is just going to be a great opportunity. And this is coming from south of the border up here. Aguila is based in Mexico, and they are distributed by Texas Armament, which is the company that Kristi is with, and I really think you'll enjoy this interview of us talking together. But before we get too much longer into this episode, I wanted to at least plug the Aguila Cup that's coming in June to Decatur. And as Kristi will say in our interview together, this event is giving away $65,000 in cash and prizes. Again, June 14th through the 17th, 2018, sporting clays, rimfire, and 3-gun. You can register at shootaguilacup.com. That's shootaguilacup.com. All one word, no spaces, no dashes, and it'll bring you to this website that has all the details on all the different shooting things, the host hotel, entertainment while you're there. Fossil Pointe Sporting Grounds is a 480-acre family-owned and operated facility in landscape-rich North Texas. This place is huge. I mean, for a shooting range, there's just going to be a lot of opportunity to test your shooting skills and really have a lot of fun with your family. It's a 4-day event. This is just going to be great. So please plan to come to this event. It's easy to make your reservations and do everything online. Again, shootaguilacup.com. And you'll learn more about Fossil Pointe Range and Aguila Ammunition and Texas Armament and all that other fun stuff on that website. And then as far as the ammunition that Aguila produces, I wanted to talk a little bit about that after the show, so I'm going to do that at that time and introduce you here to Kristi Heuring from Texas Armament, and I hope you'll enjoy our show. Thanks so much for listening. Here we go. Joining me on the phone today, Mrs. Kristi Heuring. How are you doing today, Kristi?
I'm great. How are you, Dustin?
Better than I deserve is my usual answer. That's a good thing, though. That's a real good thing. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and Aguila Ammunition. Just kind of give us a basic backstory of the company.
Well, I'm the Director of Marketing here for Aguila Ammunition USA and Texas Armament Technology. I've been in the hunting and shooting industry for about 16 years now.
Wow.
And have a marketing background prior to getting into the industry, but it's an industry I love and don't ever want to leave. I've been with Aguila for 3 years, and Aguila itself, they have been around since 1961. Aguila is located in the old Remington plant in Cuernavaca, Mexico, which is about 45 miles or minutes south of Mexico City.
Wow, that's great. And you guys, Aguila, I guess, produces obviously all kinds of ammunition for rimfire, centerfire, and shotguns, correct?
Yeah, so Aguila produces full lines of rimfire, centerfire, and shot shell, and Aguila is actually one of the world's largest producers of rimfire. We produce over 1 billion rounds per year.
Goodness, that's amazing. Wow,
yeah.
1 billion rounds. I had no idea. Wow.
That's people amazing. Are always surprised to hear that. But that Rimfire keeps going. And, a few years ago when there was the Rimfire shortage, we were able to continue to supply people with Rimfire when they couldn't find it elsewhere.
So you guys are the one, huh?
We are,
That's good. That's really good. Well, I've always known Aguila for the Rimfire category because that's what you see mostly when you're in stores and that kind of stuff. A lot of times is the Aguila Rimfire stuff, and it's very common to see that, but I had no idea y'all produce the amount of centerfire and shot shell cartridges. I learned about the mini shell at SHOT Show 2016, and I don't know if that's when they just came out with it or not, but anyway, I that's been a really interesting thing. I'll touch on that topic again in a minute, but basically I'm just overwhelmed by the awesome amount of stuff that you guys produce. So that's just incredible.
Yeah, and it's great. A lot of people, like you're familiar with Rimfire, a lot of people do know us for Rimfire, but aren't as familiar with centerfire and shot shell.
Sure.
And then I think people are even more surprised when it comes to shot shell when they realize what a high-quality shot shell round it is. Because we do have one of the few remaining lead shot towers at our factory.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, so that produces the perfectly round pellet that you'll find in our shot shell, which you won't see in all of the other competitors.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. And the one thing that I was really intrigued by, and I did some research on this weekend before we started this call, was the mini shell, which is basically an 1 3/4 version of the shot shell, which I think is brilliant because you can get into a slug buckshot or field shot, and the basic way that all works is that it's less recoil and it's a quieter report than a regular standard shot shell, correct?
Yes, yeah, it is extremely quiet, very low recoil. It's great for introducing new shooters.
Yeah.
To shooting 12 gauge, whether that's youth, women, anyone with special needs.
Sure.
Not having that recoil, allows them to shoot more and feel more comfortable from the very beginning.
That's great. And then for self-defense use, if you're using a shotgun in your home for home protection, you can fit more of those mini shells in the loading chamber than you can a regular standard shot shell. Correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. In the Mossberg Shockwave, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be able to get around 12 rounds of mini shell in there. In the Kel-Tec KSG, you can get up to 26.
That's amazing.
In the new KSG, you can get even more. So yeah, it does give you the capability.
It's
a lot more rounds.
It's a game changer, man. I mean, that's just I've never seen anybody do anything remotely like that. And to think that you guys had this for 12 gauge is just incredible because there are a lot of folks that are just scared away by the recoil of 12 gauge. Even adult shooters that I've talked to, I had a former manager that was only shooting a 20 gauge and a 410. He was kind of a show off. He liked to shoot sporting clays with the 410, but he was just like, 12 gauge is too much for me. This could be a game changer for him, couldn't it?
Oh, definitely, because even for people that shoot all the time, like you said, sometimes that 12 gauge, it can just wear on you, especially if you're out there shooting quite a bit.
Right.
And I know myself personally, when I shoot sporting clays, I will go out and shoot the mini shell at times. It's not going to be applicable for every single distance,
right?
But it's great, and like I said, for youth and women and other new shooters, it's the perfect way to introduce them to shot shell and 12 gauge.
That's fantastic. And to switch gears real quick, because I know we really wanted to talk about the Aguila Cup 2018. That's going to be held June 14th through the 17th of June. And tell us a little bit about that and where it's going to happen at.
Yeah, so for the past few years, we have held the Copa Aguila in Mexico. It first started in Acapulco, and in the past 2 years, it's been in Guadalajara, and it has turned into one of the largest shooting events in all of Latin America.
Wow.
I believe last year in Guadalajara, we had just under 500 shooters. And so this year, we are going to bring the event to the U.S. It will be held in Decatur, Texas, at Fossil Pointe Sporting Grounds, which is just outside of Denton. It will be held June 14th through the 17th. The event is going to be comprised of sporting clays, which will include a prelim event, the main event, 5-stand, and FITASC. And then we will also have 3-gun competition as well as Rimfire. And for those shooters that are shooting 3-gun and Rimfire, if they want to try something new with the 5-stand, then they can qualify for the Triple Threat Award, which will be $5,000, a trophy and $5,000 in prizes for that winner. And then we have a big cash purse. We're going to be giving away $65,000 in cash prizes throughout the entire event.
That's great. That's great. And so sporting clays, rimfire, and 3-gun. So this kind of covers the gamut. And really what I was reading about this is there's also the opportunity for shooters of just about any level to get involved in this. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah, and we want everyone to know this is going to be a family-friendly event.
Right.
We're going to have all kinds of things going on for family, and we want new shooters to come and try this out too. You know, we're definitely going to have a good representation of the professional shooters as well as people that are shooting, you know, on a regular basis. But we're going to have NSSF first shots out there. So it's going to be an opportunity for people that have never shot before to come out and have an introduction to shooting, whether that's shotgun shooting, rimfire, you know, whether they want to shoot a handgun or a rifle, whatever it may be. You can go through an intro class there at the Aguila Cup. Then in addition, if you're comfortable with the First Shots program, or if you're already comfortable with shooting but don't shoot a lot of competition, we will have a hunter class division for the main event. And CZ USA has generously donated 10 shotguns to be given away to the first 10 places in the hunter class division.
Wow.
So even if you're not a strong competition shooter, this is your chance to come out and win a shotgun and win some other prizes.
And it's great timing because it's in the summer. You know, a lot of kids are away from school. A lot of families can go take off work and whatever else they're doing and go to this. You know, I can't say enough in this show, and if anybody's listened to any of the other podcasts that I've done, I'm really big about making the outdoors accessible to everyone who is interested in it. And the thing that I think this event is great, and the Fossil Pointe Sporting Grounds that I've read about, is that they try to focus on youth safety and education. And those are big things I try to focus about in this podcast as well, you know, and that's great.
Yeah, you have to. And I think right now, you know, it's more important than ever that we as an industry emphasize how important it is to continue to recruit new shooters.
Yes.
And to showcase that it is a family-friendly sport. You know, I know that my family and I, we can go out there, myself, my husband, my 2 kids, and spend a day shooting sporting clays, you know, all having fun, and it's a great learning experience for them, and it's also a great family bonding time.
It
and
is.
You can do that with any of the shooting disciplines.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about on this show is that, you know, getting the whole family out there involved in understanding firearm safety and education, that kind of stuff. My wife is not really much of a shooter, and she saw me put together one of my handguns the other day, and she said, "I'm finally ready to learn," you know, and I said, "Perfect. I've got just the gun for you. I've got one that's going to fit her hand well, be kind of a compact handgun, and now I know the ammunition I want to shoot." So,
fantastic. I'll help you out.
But the one thing I wanted to bring up regarding handguns is you guys carry a wide variety of self-defense loads, right?
We do, yes. We do have a full line of centerfire, and our hollow point production will be starting up here within the next week or so in our new production facility here in Texas.
Oh, super. That's great. And where are you guys located again in Texas?
We're in Conroe.
Conroe. Okay, cool. Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's East Texas, and I go fishing on Lake Conroe quite a bit during the end of the year, and that's a beautiful area too. So
great. Yeah, one of the fastest growing areas in the country.
That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, I heard that on the news the other day. So that's really great. And so basically, the other thing I was going to bring up, since we talk a lot about hunting and stuff on this show, is the hunting loads.
Yeah, right now, you know, most of our hunting loads are going to be our shot shell field loads,
okay,
and then you're going to see more hunting loads coming out sometime in the future. So as far as, you know, true hunting loads, most of ours are still going to be FMJ when it comes to your 5.56 and your 300 blackout. So, you know, if that's something you want to try out for predator hunting, we're certainly not going to tell you to go out and do any big game hunting with those loads, but that is certainly a goal that we have, and we're working hard to make that happen so you can see more calibers in the future.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense, and I love the full line because you guys have y'all cover the gamut on what a shooter really needs. You'll cover all the major popular calibers and the rimfire and the shot shell and the centerfire category. I mean, for the most part, you guys are y'all are on it. This is great.
Thank you. Yeah, you'll see more from us. We're working to expand all the product lines every day. So
that's great.
Stay tuned.
Where can people go to find out more about the Aguila Cup event that y'all are putting on?
Yeah, we have a dedicated website for Aguila Cup, so you can go to www.shootaguilacup.com.
Yes, I was going to put that in the show notes as well, so you have it. That's great. And so this has been in Mexico the last 2 years, and it's coming to Texas for the first time. Great opportunity to get the family outdoors. Great opportunity to have a lot of fun as a family and learn a lot. I mean, that's the thing I'm really big about. Anytime I take my kid to go, I just have one child, but every time I take him to go to an air gun show or a firearms or a gun show or whatever the case may be, it's all about educating them about, safety and marksmanship and good shooting practices and fundamentals and that kind of stuff as well.
So yeah, you've got to start with the basics and
right.
Make sure they know how to handle it.
That's the fundamentals, they're so very, very important. So no, that's great. And so you've got the other thing I was going to bring up is Fossil Pointe is a full service facility pretty much for rifles, handguns, and shotguns, correct?
Yes, they are, and they have competitions on a regular basis. Every single month they have multiple competitions. Probably the majority of those are sporting clays, but they do have 3-gun facilities are setting up right now. Rimfire that we're working on, a beautiful location.
That's great.
In Decatur, yeah.
Decatur is just, you said north of Denton, is that right?
It's just right next to Denton. So it's going to take you about an hour from the airport.
Okay.
But it's a growing city. And then for the Aguila Cup, there's a brand new Embassy Suites that has been built in Denton. So you can register for hotel reservations there and then get the discounted rate for the event.
That's fantastic.
And then the Wade Bowen concert will be right there as well.
Okay. Who's that again?
Connected. Wade Bowen.
Wade Bowen. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Music star. Cool. Good deal.
Yeah.
And Fossil Pointe, another thing I wanted to bring about the venue that you're having this event, and it's 480-acre family-owned, operated facility and landscape in North Texas. That's huge. I mean, for a shooting facility. We have a place like that similar to us here in Central Texas where I live, and we're about 3 hours north of south of Dallas, so we'd have to drive north to get there. But I mean, still, no matter where you're coming from Texas, this is a worthwhile event to go to in North Texas for sure, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I mean, we're going to have it all. Sporting clays, 3-gun, rimfire. And then for those that want to try out and do a little bit of everything, then they can qualify for the Triple Threat Award.
That's great. And the Triple Threat Award is what three categories again?
So the Triple Threat, you're going to shoot 100 targets in 5 stand.
Whoa.
And then you will need to shoot at least 100 points worth in rimfire and 3-gun.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we cleared that out. That's great. Do you have anything else to add as far as this event goes?
No, I mean, I think, just really emphasizing that it is a family-friendly event, and we don't want anyone to feel discouraged about coming if they don't shoot all the time or they've never tried it. This is your chance to get a good, solid introduction to any type of shooting through the NSSF First Shots program and through the Hunter Class division of the main event. So we just encourage everyone to come and check it out.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And there she goes, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Kristi Heuring from Texas Armament, Aguila Ammunition. Fantastic company here, and I wanted to talk a little bit, as I said at the beginning of the show, about the offerings that Aguila has to get to you in the market of shooting rimfire, centerfire, or shot shell. As we mentioned on the show, the shot shell is the thing that I think they do the best as far as that, and the rimfire is what they're known for the best, I should say. But the way that they go through and do the production of this stuff in the old Remington plant down in Mexico is really cool. And they do over 1 billion. Can you believe that? 1 billion rounds of 22 in a year. That's a massive amount of 22s. And what I wanted to talk about there was that they have match grade, they have standard grade, they have kind of an overview on their website that has all that in there for 22s. But man, getting your kids outside or getting anybody that's new to the shooting sports outside with the 22 is just so much fun. I've got a Ruger 1022 that I like to shoot, and Aguila makes some fantastic ammunition for getting one outside and feeding your gun, as it were, good ammunition. And it's just a fun time to, I talk about air guns and that kind of stuff a lot. I'm really into taking my son out and getting him involved in shooting 22s and doing that kind of stuff in addition to air guns, because it teaches the right shooting skill with an actual firearm and safety and so on and so forth that just can't be stressed enough. So I definitely wanted to mention that. And then the centerfire stuff that they had, the pistol and the rifle ammunition. Great for self-defense. There's a lot of new and up-and-coming things that are coming from them, which I want you to watch out for in the stores that carry their ammunition. You can find that on the website aguilaammo.com. That's aguilaammo.com. I'll put a link in the show notes for that. And the shot shells. I just want to mention again on the mini shells, like we talked about before. They make these mini shells for 12 gauge, but they carry, full-length shells for sub gauges like 16 gauge and 28 gauge. That's really cool. 20 gauge and 12 gauge obviously are some of the most popular rounds that you can find for the field loads and that kind of stuff. And I just can't say enough good stuff about, and the 410 gauge, of course, I forgot about that. But the 20 gauge buckshot, the 20 gauge high velocity, 12 gauge buckshot, 12 gauge standard velocity, and then 12 gauge high velocity. Got all these up on their website right now. You can, you're basically looking at a 2 3/4 inch kind of standard, regular size cartridge, and just a very well made, perfectly round shot. It's going to perform well in the field. It's going to go really well at the shooting range and the sporting clay range or wherever you're going to shoot a shotgun. I mean, this is fantastic. But the mini shell, I really, really am big about the mini shell because it's a great way to introduce kids to shotguns. It's a great way to introduce kids without scaring them from the recoil or scaring them from the noise, a lot of the things that scare people away from 12 gauges. And like I said, my manager who, is really big into shooting 410 for geese and for trap and skeet and sporting clays, he always hated to shoot a 12 gauge. This is just a perfect option for those that are kind of recoil sensitive to that particular round, that particular shotgun gauge. So I can't say enough about what they're doing, and if you're interested in slugs or buckshot, they've got that in the mini shell as well. 1 3/4 inches is what the length is in the mini shell, and that means you can fit more capacity. The one thing I'll tell you to be careful with when you're dove hunting, make sure that you obviously only keep 3 in the chamber, or 3 in the tube, and 2 in the tube, 1 in the chamber, 3 total rounds for your dove hunting when you're out dove hunting. But this is a great way to introduce kids, introduce young adults, introduce adults that are just starting out into the shooting sports to really get out there and learn the way that they should learn, not flinching when they shoot, making sure they follow through. I mean, those kind of good things. And I'm not the best wing shot or not the best sporting clay shot. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, but I know the basic rules. You want to lead your shot. You want to follow through. You want to do the basics and the fundamentals every single time and do them well every single time, because that's going to, obviously bring your level of success up and your level of performance and endurance and everything that has to do with that up to a higher level. And that's one thing we all love the outdoors for, the hunting and fishing and that kind of stuff and the lifestyle. But it's really nice when you can perform at a high level. If you're hunting dove, if you're hunting geese, if you're hunting, ducks, whatever the case may be. And this is a good way to practice those skills with the mini shell. So I definitely invite you to go check those out. Again, aguilaammo.com. That's aguilaammo.com, and you'll see the different things that they've got for the sub gauges, the mini shell, and the field, which is really cool. And then centerfire, I wanted to go over real quick what they carry in the realm of centerfire. There's a wide variety of different ammo that they carry for that. It's loaded ammunition, full metal jacket, or jacketed hollow points, or round nose, lead bullets, those kind of things that you want to shoot in a 38 special revolver or something like that, or full metal jacket, semi-jacketed soft points, that kind of stuff you can carry for a 38 special. And then they carry your 300 magnums, not 300 magnums, 357 magnums, I should say, and your 9mm, and so on and so forth. There's just a whole wide variety of different things that they carry. You can find a lot of this in Academy as far as the 22s and some of the different shot shells and that kind of stuff. Academy, I believe, carries most of these. Most of their most popular products, and because Academy carries a lot of different ammunition, so I'm sure they can't stock everything. But there are local stores here in Texas. These are kind of your smaller gun shops as well. In addition to Academy, will carry this brand of ammunition. I highly recommend that you go check it out. I mean, it's just fantastic stuff. They got a good variety of different things, especially in the shotgun world, but now they're moving into handguns. And I want to mention something that I haven't talked about in a while when it comes to self-defense ammunition. When you're going to buy something that's going to, protect you and the people you love's life, don't go cheap. Don't just buy whatever is off the box at the big box store. I always say that about broadheads and bow hunting. I say that about a lot of different things. But when seconds count, every shot matters. And if you've got a home invasion situation, if you have a concealed carry situation that you've got to intervene in, or whatever the case may be, I mean, this is an okay time to spend a little bit more and get something that you hope to never have to use, but if you use it, it's going to be there for you. And choosing high quality ammunition like this is so vitally important to that. I just can't say it enough. So I'm kind of shouting that from the rooftops when it comes to self-defense ammunition. So that's very important. But anyway, 45 ACP, full metal jacket and jacketed hollow points, 40 caliber jacketed hollow points, and then FMJ jacketed round nose. I mean, these guys have got a little bit of everything on their website that you can go check out. And I at least wanted to bring you through the kind of a tour of what's going on there, because there's a lot of different things. In the rifle category, 223 Remington full metal jacket, 5.56 by 45, which is the military version full metal jacket boat tail. Stepping on up to the 308 Winchester full metal jacket boat tail, and 7.62 by 51, which is the military version of that, and 300 AAC Blackout. That's a round that's very popular these days with the AR-15, especially for taking larger game with a 30 caliber bullet that runs about the same speed as a 7.62 by 39 SKS AK-47 bullet, but it comes out of an AR-15, and all you have to do is change the upper, because this is a parent cartridge to a 223 that's been expanded to 30 caliber. So it's kind of a cool looking cartridge that is built specially for, kind of slow going, subsonic instead of supersonic shooting. You can shoot suppress for 300 blackout, and I've got a lot of different cool things coming in the suppressor world for this podcast in the future, so keep that in mind as we progress through these. And then also the 30 carbine full metal jacket, which is kind of in between the two small ones and the large ones, is a 30 caliber for varmints or whatever you want to use a 30 carbine for, and some great opportunities there. So I'm going to put everything in the show notes that we talked about today, Aguila Ammo, and then let me get back to the website here again, shootaguilacup.com. That's shootaguilacup.com for the Aguila Cup in 2018. June 14th through the 17th, 2018, Sporting Clays, Rimfire, and 3-Gun. Can't say enough about how great this is going to be as a fantastic event, and something that you can take the whole family to, and everybody can enjoy watching as spectators, and then performing at whatever level you want to perform at. Just bring your A game, because there are going to be a lot of good guys here that know how to shoot, and gals too. So there's some great opportunities there. Check out Texas Armament and Aguila Ammunition, and you will not be disappointed that you do, because they've got some great offerings there. And really excited about having Kristi on the show. I want to thank her again for coming on and doing that with us. It's great to have and she's one of our few female guests. I promise I'm gonna get more female guests on this show, because I know I hear that a lot from a lot of you listeners. It's just like, hey, we just hear a bunch of guys all the time. Sometimes we want to hear from the ladies. So it was great to have her on, because I think she's my third or fourth female guest that I've had out of 60, 70 something episodes. So anyway, thank you so much again for watching, reading, and listening. Please also, if you've not done so already, subscribe to Texas Fish and Game Magazine. It is a very low cost monthly for it breaks down to you buy a yearly subscription. It breaks down to very, very much off the cover price when you buy the year of the magazine. You can get it delivered right into your mailbox at your office or at home. And also, we're 90%, over 90%, I think, at least 90% subscriber base. So we don't carry a lot of these in newsstands, even though you can find us at HEB and Academy and places like that. You can find the magazine every month. A lot of times they sell out, so getting it right to your mailbox is a really good idea. Also, please sign up for our newsletters. They are free. They come 3 times a week. Tactical Practical Tuesday, Wildlife Wednesday, and the Thursday Texas State of the Outdoor Nation newsletter. Lots of fun there, and really looking forward to connecting with you. Please like me on Facebook or find me on Facebook. You can find my name pretty easily, WARNCKE, and connect with me. Send me a message on Facebook and let me know that you're listening to the show. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you again so much for watching, reading, and listening. Have an awesome day in the outdoors. We'll see you next time.